I'm Anthony Renda, and this is Strength Coach TV, where we bring you into fitness facilities across the country to give you a tour and an inside look into how people are running their business. Today we're heading down to Soho in New York City for a tour of Drive 495 with owner Don Saladino. Don opened Drive 495, I think, 5 years ago with his brother Joe. And if you know anything about Titleists, they always talk about building your team. Well, this family has two parts of the team built in. Donnie is the trainer, and Joey is an amateur golfer who is really one of the best amateur golfers in the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Long Island area, Connecticut area. So they already have their team built right there, and they have a couple great physical therapists at Drive 495. Charlie Weingroff is included in that. So they have a really, I love the system that they have down there. I love the team that they have. A couple of takeaways that you're going to get from this, or that I took away. Number one, customer service. Every time I walked in there, the staff was incredibly friendly, taking your jacket, asking you if you wanted anything, offering you everything. I saw them do that with members. Really a lesson learned about customer service for me. Also, the place is immaculate. They had somebody going around cleaning all the time. So for their demographic, I think that's really important. One thing you'll notice, we're not going to go into their bathroom, but I went into their bathroom. It was really, really, really clean. It was beautiful too. So again, for their demographic, that's just something that they felt was important. Again, between the team that they have down there and the customer service that they provide, and really this beautiful space, it's very unique. Second floor, it's our second facility that we're going to, that we have to take an elevator up to, right in Soho, right on Broadway. Really cool stuff. So we're going to head down right now to Drive 495.
Whether you're opening a small personal training studio or a major strength and conditioning facility, Perform Better's fitness facility design team will work with you from layout to installation to create the fitness facility design that best meets your needs and budget. Their team of facility design experts is dedicated to bringing you the best advice and equipment to help you and your teams perform better. Go to performbetter.com to fill out a facility design form, and one of their trained facility designers will contact you to get started on your fitness facility today. When I opened 5 Iron Fitness, I use Perform Better, and I can't recommend them highly enough. Go to performbetter.com.
All right, I'm here in Drive 495, the beautiful Drive 495. You're going to see what a great space we have. This is the second space in New York City that we're at, and another unique situation. We're on the second floor. I'm standing right next to the elevators. We're going to talk to Don Saladino, the owner of Drive 495, about that, about being a challenge. We're right on Broadway in Soho. It's pretty cool. And another challenge, and I'm going to talk to Donnie about, is we're right next to a New York Sports Club, which is a big chain here in New York. So we're going to get with Donnie right now. We're going to get a great tour of this beautiful facility.
Hello everyone, welcome to Drive 495. My name is Don Saladino. Very honored to have Anthony Renda at our club today. We'd like to show you around a little bit. So, first things first, this is our cafe area. We've got to talk about this. We are about to do a renovation where, as you can see, a lot of our golf gear is going to be displayed a little bit differently. So what we plan on doing is ripping out this bench here and putting in some nice display shelves, kind of installing a little bit of a pro shop where we're going to have logoed apparel, tees, wallets. I know we all love wearing these C primes. They're all pretty cool. We're having a lot of fun with them. So we're going to have that at the pro shop. It's going to work on a little bit more brand awareness, which is something that early on my brother Joe and I didn't really have the ability to focus on. We were so into growing the business that we were worried more about keeping our air conditioning working rather than getting cool golf shirts, which now we have the ability to do. So let's walk you through here a little bit.
Any equipment or anything like that? Any golf equipment, or just really the t-shirts right now and everything?
We do equipment, but equipment's more upstairs, so that's going to be more for club fitting, and we will have some golf balls, and we'll have logo Drive 495 golf balls. But for right now, you're going to see seasonally, it's all going to change. You'll have zip ups, pullovers, golf shirts, golf tees, just basic stuff that you're going to see in a pro shop.
Awesome. And Donnie, for this stuff right here,
sure.
Do they just put it on their account? I mean, how does that work? Or they just go to the front desk and buy it?
It's very simple. Every one of our members has a charge card on the account, and they can just pretty much throw out their workout, grab what they want, and they hold it up to the reception. we don't like, you don't have your money, you have to run into, you're in the middle of a workout, you get thirsty. Even just our water's coconut oil, everything here is pretty healthy. There are a few things that I do have on the shelves that I'm not completely sold on, certain stuff like the vitamin waters that are a little bit higher in sugar, but what happens is a lot of our clients will come in here, their blood sugar levels are low during a workout, and we got to give them something quick to kind of replenish that. So what I do find in business is, as much as you have a dream and a game plan, things are going to change a little bit to cater to the membership, and I think that's just fine. You got to find a happy medium. This is kind of cool. One thing I want to talk about, this new bar that came out called Real Bar. It is an organic, it's made by hand by this group. It's called Green Market Square. It's a real healthy bar. We're made with coconut oil, made with grass-fed, whey, really healthy, nice alternative. It tastes good too. So it's, this is our reception area. Kimmy working at the front desk. I can't stress enough that you can have all the money in the world to put into a spot. I think what makes this place special is our staff. So it starts with the reception. When you're walking in, you got to make sure that you have a friendly face, someone who's going to be able to deal with the client on an everyday basis. And we all know that their moods are going to change. To our public area people, to our strength coaches, to our golf pros, to our GM. That's what makes this place special. It's not the money that was put into it, but it's the staff that we built over the last 6-7 years.
Yeah, I do want to say that was my experience here. The first two times coming here was the staff was really extremely helpful. Knew my name coming in already.
Awesome.
Always asked me if I wanted water or something to eat or take my bag. So
awesome.
You guys have done a great job with that. Donnie, just talk really quick about what's this area right here. I see your salesperson's card.
Yes, this is actually Marcy Khan. She's been doing sales for us for a while. As you can see, she's also not very tall because we got to put in a little booster seat for her, which she's going to be embarrassed that I'm even showing. No, but she likes to be here to meet and greet people. Again, it's one of those things that it was a trade-off. It was either put a sales office specifically for her or give more functional space for our clients, and it was a decision that we decided to bring her out here. Again, when we opened up, my brother and I had wishes and dreams of having our own big office, which always gets kind of thrown out of the, gets thrown into the woodwork, when you actually look at what's important. But she's doing just fine out here. It's not a big club where we have thousands of people a day coming in. It's more by an appointment only, a few walk-ins here and there. So,
all right,
cool. So walking onto the gym floor. Now this is interesting. What you're going to hear a lot about is a lot of the mistakes that I did actually make when opening this club, because one of them was I definitely had too much cardio put in. So we had double the amount of cardio here, and when my brother and I laid that out, we said, this wasn't definitely, it's not conducive to our business model, so it was something that we kind of called an audible on, and we removed half of the stuff. So we have just enough where people can come in and do some interval work. A couple of our clients coming in, after specific surgeries that don't want to be walking around, they get them on the bikes or the step mills or the ellipticals. But from a training philosophy, we try and get them away from this a lot. This is more for their own use.
And this is a membership facility, so they're basically paying a monthly fee and
absolutely
coming in, and they can come in on their own and work out too. So
absolutely, it's a membership facility. As a non-member, though, you have the ability to come and take golf lessons. Naturally, you're going to be paying a premium on that. We want everyone to come in and become members. Obviously, there's a lot more being offered with the membership package. You are getting the assessment process. You are getting to meet our team, from our nutritionist to our strength coach to a golf pro. So we want you to see everything that the club has to offer.
Absolutely.
Again, a couple things that won't necessarily fit big with our fitness models. Our business model is, we got a couple machines here. Again, we do train a lot of people for movies once in a while at the end of a workout. Want to get a little pump, want to get your swell on a little bit. So we'll bring them over to a machine and kind of get some blood in there. But the majority of the work being done here is going to be done with, one's body, and we're not really locking them into pieces of equipment like this.
And you do have physical therapists in here, so they might be using that as well?
We have physical therapists here. We actually, right now, we have Charlie Weingroff going at it in the back, who's been just a huge addition to the club. He's talk about someone who can make you feel small at times. I mean, this guy knows his stuff. And we have Gene Giamarino, who's also a TPI level 3 medical practitioner who's been handling a lot of the load as well. So between those two guys, we feel like we have a pretty good medical team established, and they're here to work with our team when we get stumped with specific issues, because I don't want the strength coaches dealing with things that are beyond their scope of work.
Yeah,
one thing I preach is I don't want them to be what they're not. I want them, you got to refer out when you get to a specific time when you realize that you cannot go any further with that client. So
I want to remind everybody that Donnie's brother Joe is one of New York's metropolitan area's top golfers, actually, top amateur golfers, and that's really based on the TPI model, building your team. Donnie's the fitness guy, if you haven't figured that out by now. Joey's the golf pro, and then they have certain physical therapists in here, the nutritionists. So when we talk about building a team, you guys have really done a great job doing that.
Thank you very much. And one thing that we definitely did embrace was the TPI model. I know Greg Rose, who is a friend, did us a big favor and came in here years ago and looked at this spot when it was a full shell and gave us a lot of good pointers. And at a time when the business wasn't doing as well as it was doing now, he helped us out. And so that's part of business. You got to expect to make a lot of mistakes, but you also have to be humble, and you also have to be willing to change the direction that you went in at a specific time. So that's something that I became pretty good at, is recognizing my own mistakes here. So kind of getting into the equipment, we just brought a Kaiser in, which we were actually a little bit late on getting, but this is probably one of the most used pieces of equipment in here. We needed more space for it, so we cleared some stuff out of here. Rebounders, kettlebells, that's something that we will be adding a lot to the club right now, is the kettlebell portion. We're going to end up purchasing a lot more of that and putting it into the area in the back, which I'll explain to you when we end up getting to. Functional trainers, we have a smaller dumbbell section here up to 65 pounds. That is my office over there that we just passed.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing special. That again is turned into Don's office / training lounge.
Okay.
So again, having those wishes of having a big office. Actually, I think I'm going to have my own office soon, because we are expanding and we're going to be moving the training lounge upstairs, which is important because we're going to give the guys some time to relax and have their own time rather than on top of me when I'm in a bad mood half of the time. So physical therapy office right here. We actually have a session in progress, so can't show you that. Actually, I just purchased an Airdyne, which has been a good little addition here. I know it's an old piece of equipment, but we've been having a lot of fun with that. Power blocks. Most people are saying, why do you have a set of power blocks here right in front of a set of dumbbells? My head trainer last year, Tommy Jacob, passed away, and he actually bought this for the club before, and he was a good friend of mine, and he just loved the feel of them. So we'll keep these here forever. So when people ask, it's kind of in memory of Tommy that we leave these here. Having we have a leg press in here. We do get a lot of people ready for movies. That's kind of another thing that I always started with. We got Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, Scarlett, Blake. We can go off on a lot of name dropping, but we have to have other pieces of equipment here that may not be completely focused towards golf. Well, we are golf. That's our primary focus, but we are also a lot more beyond that. So we're not trying to just pigeonhole us into one area. We understand that that's our focus, but we have the ability to do obviously a lot more than that. So we got our heavy balls back there. We got our stretch mate here, which is kind of a cool piece.
Gotta have that if you're a golf facility.
Gotta have that if you're a golf facility. It's kind of like almost a cool down for most people. They'll be doing a lot of their work and they gotta catch a breather. They may come over here and go through a series of stretches, and it's easy for them to do on their own if they're not with a trainer.
You got the sled over here, and you're able to...
This is like, we actually just burnt the sled out because we use it so much. So we just had to get rid of a sled, and Rob Milani from Perform Better, who we love, sent that over to us. And it's just a really easy way to just beat someone up and throw in some good functional training in between.
Now I see you have little rug pieces on there. Did they send it like that? Or?
No, they didn't send it like this. What we had to do, because this is fusion floor, so this was a pour. It almost pours like liquid.
Okay.
Probably something that my brother and I didn't necessarily need to spend our money on in the beginning, but we went and did it. So what we had to do is we had to lay strips of carpeting down underneath the sled, and we almost jerry-rigged it with some screws and some glue, and it slides. I mean, it slides perfectly on this. It's actually just the right resistance. So we get a lot of use out of that. We get a lot of use out of the slide board. Yeah. So getting kind of back here, this is some of the old school fun stuff. So we have a full rack and we have a half rack, an incline and a flat press. What we found is visually because we are offering membership here, these are two pieces that you can very easily do the same thing here, yeah. But visually, when someone's walking into a club, you have to think about that also. A lot of the strength coaches out there, you got to remember that these people coming through the door don't know what we know, yeah. And they get intimidated when they see certain things or when they don't see certain things. So we felt like we thought about at times getting rid of this stuff and maybe just bringing in more racks, but visually we think it's fun, it's easy for people to use. You can use step-ups on the flat bench, so it's something that we're pretty happy with, and we're not going to change for now. We do have some big boy weights down here. We get up to 125s. We do have some pretty strong guys here. So I think, again, you walk in here, it does look like a pretty nice place, but we want it to get gritty, you know? Yeah. Guess what? If you got to throw weights, throw weights. If you got to grunt, grunt. That's something you're working out, and we believe in it, and they're not going to hear us underneath here, and, you know, enjoy your experience. But again, a lot of different tools like the chains that we have over here, bands, you know, board pressing, the landmine that's on the floor. Yep. Again, the funniest piece of equipment that I have in here that everyone's like, what the hell is this? Is the anterior tib, which I don't know how many places are going to actually have or use an anterior tib. This has been used maybe 10 times in the 6 years we've been open. Again, it was my buddy Tommy, who was a bodybuilder. We keep this here for him, which is fun. One area that I cannot show you, but take my word for it, is the locker rooms. One of the spots that we put a lot of money into, by going through different health clubs and going through different performance spots in the city, we found that the big complaint was that the locker rooms were dirty. So if there was a space that we really put a lot of money into, we did it into the locker rooms. We wanted it to be extremely clean, almost have like a Four Seasons type of feel. Yeah. So after you're done with your workout, you can go in and actually want to be there, enjoy it, not have to wear flip-flops. And so just the staffing alone that we have to put into there to keep it as clean as we do, that's where a lot of it goes into.
Yeah, I mean, I went in there before, it's gorgeous in there, and one of the things, you know, that it's not only putting the money into it, it's the upkeep. You got to keep it up, and that obviously costs money, but I think, you know, you and I were talking before, one of the important things, the lessons here is know your demographic. You have some celebrities in here, you have the golfing demographic is a high-end demographic.
You said it, yep.
If you're going to get bathrooms or showers, you better keep them clean.
You better keep, especially in this area. I mean, we're in Soho. Yeah. When we open, why are you opening in Soho? Well, we're centrally located at Wall Street. We're centrally located at Midtown, and we're in an area right now that's steps from Tribeca. We're really in the heart of it all, and it's a money area. So we better make sure that our upkeep's good. Otherwise, we're going to be in trouble. But again, I got to thank my staff for that, because they're the ones. I mean, I'm bad as it is giving them a hard time about keeping it clean, but they're the ones actually doing the work. So hats off to them.
As we look here, we look down this area, and we'll take a walk upstairs because we have more. We're looking at the simulator. Actually, have somebody in there. And so pretty cool. You got two simulators here. And back there, past Charlie Weingruff, the legendary Charlie Weingruff, back there's a putting green. So you got somebody playing right now, which is awesome.
This is actually one of our members. I could throw him under the bus. It's Lawrence Lessing. He plays to about a scratch, went to Richmond, but you know, right now working crazy hours. His days off change, and he has the ability now, in season, off season, to come in here to get his golf specific workout in and to go hit golf shots. Cool. And you know what? We're not trying to take the place of the driving range or the golf course. We're trying to give people who are used to having convenience and things at their fingertips the ability to play and hit balls all year long, and to be able to work with Class A professionals, which we feel like we're doing a pretty good job with as well.
Cool. Let's take a walk upstairs.
Awesome.
As we talked a little bit about, Johnny, these things take up a lot of room.
Yes,
so,
yes.
You know,
you need about 22 feet long by about 14 to 16 feet wide, and you're going to need about 12 to 13 feet up. So they take up a lot of room, and you need it dark. I mean, you need it like a movie screen. So right now we have a lot of light on, because Lal's doing some videoing, but typically when we get upstairs, you're going to notice that the space is dark. Yep. So let's take a peek.
Okay, cool. So Don, in terms of, I mean, that's a big decision. You got to decide, we're taking up a lot of room. They're pretty expensive. Tell everybody how much those things roughly cost, anywhere from.
Roughly, they can run anywhere from, I've seen 35,000 to as much as, 60,000+ these things will run. Again, like anything else, I think you get what you pay for. For the job that I feel my brother and I did here, we really wanted to have the best. But again, the upkeep, constantly upgrading this stuff, that's a task within itself. We do club fitting here. We have a private company led by Kevin Walker who does do some club fitting. Club storage is in the back. So 3 sims up here. So what we're looking to do downstairs was the area that you just saw with the 2 golf bays. We're going to move those 2 bays up here. And we're going to blow a hole through this wall here. And we're going to put those 2 golf bays and a chipping area and possibly add another bay. So we'll have 6 bays total. So downstairs where the putting green was and the golf bays, we're turning that into functional area. That's going to be close to, I'd say, about 1,800 to 2,000 square feet of area now where we can do sprint work, Olympic lifting, block work. I'm going to bring in a whole new section of kettlebells. We're going to do a lot of kettlebell training. We're going to hang some TRXs from the ceiling. So kind of try and develop a little bit more of a group environment, but also an area now where if we want to go do our performance work, we're not on top of everyone else downstairs. And that's the one ingredient I feel we've been missing. But again, we have the ability to do it now. We didn't have the ability to do it 3 years ago.
So how much more square footage is that going to be?
We're looking probably anywhere from 1,800 to 2,000 feet. So we're going to add about the same amount of square footage downstairs back here. We'll add some bays, and then we're talking about taking some area off to the side, which we are going to take, and that's going to turn into a nice little training lounge and give the trainers an area to be able to relax a little bit and eat their food. So
nice. Let's check out this area. Donnie, actually, when you're with this new expansion, are you going to be offering any kind of group membership model? What's the different because I mean, if you're just going to do it for the current clients, that's a pretty big expense.
Yeah, it's a big expense, and it was something that we looked at. What are we? So we're making a lot of money doing the training end of it. It's appealing to people. For us to go add 5 or 6 other golf bays upstairs, we have to look at how much more profit are we going to make off of that. And we feel right now the best for us is to open that area downstairs and possibly offer another membership option. Now, early on, I know a mistake that my brother and I made was that we offered probably too many options in the beginning. And I think that kind of gets a little bit confusing. We're 6 years into the game now, we know what works, and we feel like that all those options almost dilute other options. So we're really about simplifying things, keeping things a little cleaner. We have our monthly option. That's for a year commitment, and then we have our month-to-month option that's obviously more expensive that you can cancel at any time, and then what we'll end up having is probably our group training option. Pricing on that, I mean, we're still figuring it out, and we're just not there yet, but we know around the range. I'm just not at liberty of throwing that out until yet. I don't want to say anything and put my foot in my mouth.
Right, so we got a little, again, knowing your demographic, we got a nice little kind of lounge area here, and with all these simulators, you got a nice little bar in here.
This is, again, this was something that we didn't see ourselves doing in the beginning. We do corporate events upstairs. We've applied for a liquor license. That's about, that's pretty much, any day now from going through. What we do is we do corporate events. So in the meantime, we still throw these events anywhere from 5 people to, I mean, we've had as many up here as 60, 70 people, I would assume, probably give or take. I don't know the exact number, but a firm will come in, they may want to do some team building. We have hors d'oeuvres, we have a prep area in the back where we can have an outside caterer come in. They serve Christmas parties, bachelor parties, team building events. It's, it's fun.
And if you're going to dedicate this much room to the simulators, it's another great additional revenue stream where, again, like you said, maybe you didn't know that was going to happen, but you got to roll with it, and obviously you never want to turn down money.
You never do, but you know what? In the beginning, I mean, it started out like gangbusters. We were going, wow, this should be probably the business that we're in right now. I mean, obviously our love was to fitness, but then when I think the economy changed years ago and Wall Street ran into some problems, we started seeing a lot of resistance going on between booking events, and it wasn't as easy now. So, a large firm wouldn't come in now and immediately drop 10, 15 grand on an event. They are now running it through 3, 4, 5, 6 people in their HR departments, and it was a process, and their margin to spend was less. So at that time when we saw that, that caused us to change our membership structure, which was a one-time fee where we'd come in and hit someone for a larger fee. And now we said, all right, listen, it's time to adjust with the times. But it was the best thing that could have happened for us, because that's when we went with the strict performance route rather than more of the lifestyle club route. And I'm having a lot more fun with it. And just the staff that we have in now, I think our client retention is going to be a lot better, because we're meeting and we're on top of every member every day. So that was a unfortunate, but kind of a fortunate turn of events that happened for us.
Yeah, so in the beginning you were doing where it was like a one-time fee, almost similar to a country club, I guess, right?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely higher priced, and we were offering them a lot, but then after a while there was definitely some resistance going on. So that's one thing. I mean, for any young guy starting out his business, you got to realize that you can do all the focus groups in the world. You can, there comes a point where you got to learn how to swim. You got to dive in the water. You could train, but you got to dive in the water to swim. So, and you're going to make mistakes. Obviously, you want to make as little as possible, but expect, the most successful guys out there in this business. I had a conversation with Mark Verstegen when I went out to his corporate firm years ago. He probably doesn't remember me, but he's learning every day, man. He's making mistakes every day, and guess what? He's still nervous about his businesses. So I don't think that ever goes away. So,
John, we're on the second floor. We're in Soho. Definitely expensive rents. I know originally you started out with a lot of PR, because I remember going on your website when you first opened and just seeing a ton of PR, which is awesome. This is a unique situation. You guys were like the first ones really in New York to do this, combine the golf with fitness, besides 5-iron fitness. No, but you guys did it first. What's been really like some of the challenges that you feel like, looking back, wow, not that you change anything, because like you said, you need to kind of grow and go through it yourself.
Well, I would still change stuff. I would definitely change the order and the amount of time it took me to make these specific changes. I would have went back and hit myself in the head and said, make this change now. PR marketing is something that's difficult. There's obviously a cost to this. You never know what the outcome is going to be. So right now, we're looking at taking out ads in the Post and the Times, and there's going to be a cost to this, but naturally, we don't know what our outcome. So granted, if we knew right now that investing $10,000 to be in a newspaper for X amount of months was going to give us X amount of business, you'd do it. But you're always a little hesitant because you never really know what the outcome is going to do. But again, that's been a big challenge. Our business has been built word of mouth, which I think is a very difficult way to do it. There's never one huge hit coming in, and we are doing corporate memberships now. We have Marcy Khan working on that, the desk that we pointed out, the short woman. So, I say PR marketing, that's been our biggest challenge. From a programming standpoint and how we run the club, we feel like we do that pretty well, and we're always looking for ways to improve, but just going out there and getting those leads and having people know who we are, once we get them in here, we feel like we earn their trust pretty quickly.
Yeah, so. And we talked about it earlier too. I think, people can talk about the staff, but your staff truly, like I said, when I walked in, greeted really the way a place you should be greeted. Everybody's asking me if I want something, bending over backwards. Finding trainers to do that. Sometimes front desk, that's okay, but finding trainers, having that mix of, like having somebody who might know what they're doing and that personality. Talk to us about that over the 5 years that you've been open.
It's been a challenge. To find someone that's educated is one thing. You want someone who has that balance. So you want a guy or woman who can come in here and who can have a good relationship with the client, but not cross the line. You can't forget that they're paying you a lot of money for your services. Also getting a trainer who's not complacent, who wants to go out there and who wants to be educated. A couple prerequisites that I have is, I want my trainers to be TPI certified. It's something that I believe for you to come through the door here, you got to show me that your heart's in the right place. So, is that saying that a guy coming in here with CSCS and is a Check 4 practitioner, am I not going to let him? No, absolutely not. But it's with the deal that once you get in here and once you start, you are looking to improve your education from a golf fitness standpoint. You want to learn about the golf swing. Every one of our golf pros here pretty much works with a strength coach and vice versa. They barter, and that's important because you know what? You can work on golf fitness, you should be able, it's great if you can hop into a bay and take a couple shots, and whether it's a bay or whether it's a net, it doesn't matter, but have that interaction, have the ability to be able to turn around and look at someone, just like what you pretty much do. So I think that's important, but from the training standpoint, that's been a little bit of a challenge, but we've been doing a good job. It just takes time.
Yeah, good stuff. Donnie, thank you so much. We definitely want to come back with the expansion and see what you've done. Again, this is a pretty unique model. People need to appreciate that we are in New York City, in Soho, second floor, with 5 simulators and a bunch of trainers and PT, nutrition. So you guys are doing it right. So thanks for letting us come in.
Thank you for being here, and I'm looking forward to hopefully showing you guys around when we have some good news to show you. So thanks again.